paper off. Oh, wow. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, Mr. Blackstock, look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, isn't that special? Thank you. Oh, boy, I get teary-eyed here.
That's great.
That's our story. That's our story, all of us. For better or worse, that's the story.
There it is.
First time we've had a picnic together, and it's just another first that I never thought would ever occur. So it's great to get everybody together and just have fun like this, because we just never expected this would happen. So it's very special. Here's the miracle right here, and another part of the miracle there. The whole thing is a miracle, so it's just...
I pretended to be a fan of his books and sent him an email wondering if he had ever been in Minneapolis or St. Paul, because that wasn't on his Wikipedia page. And he had to be in St. Paul or Minneapolis in the summer of '68. Obviously. And once I learned that he was, then I finally sent him the real reason why I was emailing him. And that resulted in a chain of emails and exchanges, and pretty soon there was a paternity test, and here we all are.
But he wasn't specifically looking for him because he had written a play.
No, I wasn't really looking. I had written a play and just wanted to know how to get published, and typed in how to get published, and boy, in a short period of time there was a book looking at me in the face on the screen, Mark Shaw. So I got on his webpage, and there he was, smiling in one of the pictures with 2 large front teeth.
These are the gap teeth that made the whole thing possible. And then you can see them here.
And then
she's eating. Lucy has the gap tooth.
Lucy has it.
And Marnie has it if she'll open her mouth.
I was speaking to my birth mother on the phone. It was one of the first conversations we had, and she wanted to know how my adoptive parents were dealing with finding just my birth mother alone. And I said, pretty well. You know, my mom, I think, is struggling a little bit, but doing well, being supportive. And she asked how my father was doing, and I said, well, great, because there's no threat, because my birth father's dead. And she said, well, your birth father's not dead. His name's Mark Shaw, and he's a lawyer in Illinois, or Indiana, I think she said.
Or Illinois. Yeah.
Champaign, Illinois. And I said, what? And I smacked my head on our headboard of our bed because I couldn't figure it out what she was talking about. And it's a lot of rewiring of your brain. It's like the whole world flipped upside down. And at the time, my parents lived about 5 blocks. I vaguely remember driving down there to tell them. And I remember my dad just kind of sitting there, which they're very similar. My father passed away almost 3 years now. And what's funny is they're very similar. But he just kind of, he's just kind of took it in and, kind of shook his head like you kind of do, and all right, but yeah, we didn't really look for you specifically once, you and I. And see, he's a history teacher. So once Jim gets something in his head, he's kind of like that absent professor that no matter what I think is best, he just will do his own thing. So when he started emailing Mark, I was switching from working for one department and then starting my own practice, and Jim said, well, I'm just gonna kind of email this guy. And I'm like, whatever, because I know that even if I would have said no, he would have done it. So I was like, just go ahead. So one morning I was curling Lucy's hair for school, and he sends me this text on my phone. Remember that, Luce?
Yeah.
Now I get this text and it says, when you get to work, you're gonna get an email that might change your life. And I'm like, what the hell have you done? And Jim, he has 2 older children, and I'm thinking, okay, someone's pregnant, something else is going on. It never dawned on me that, this is what it was.
And of course the email that I was...
So and then we kind of waited. I had taken a week off, so we had to wait for that DNA test to come through. And then I was at work a week and a half later, and then the woman from the DNA place, I can't remember the name of the company, she was so cute. She called me up and she said, is this a good time for you? And I'm thinking, there's really no such thing, but okay, sure. I don't have any clients in here if that's what you're saying. And she said, well, the test came back and it's 99.99 positive that Mark Shaw is your father. And I sat there and she said, are you all right? And I said, I think so. And she said, would you like me to call him or would you like to call him? And I said, why don't you call him? And I hung up the phone and just beelined right out of my office and just walked. And then I called you.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I was in the car with Allison.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, yay, I have a new grandpa.
I didn't know that. Thank you so much. Thank you, James.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Absolutely.
How about that deer, huh?
There you go.
Oh, it's beautiful. Just beautiful. My whole life's been a road trip, so I guess that's where the title came from, but it's just, what a wonderful miracle, no question about it. It's just beautiful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Wow. Better go give your
Very
dad a
special.
hug.
Very special. Wow, we'll put that up, that's for sure. Thank you, dear. Thank you.